Live.
We're live.
Hello.
We're here. Hello. It's been a while. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah, okay. Someone else was with me on that. All right, good. I'm no longer alone.
I was like, are we allowed to do that? I don't know. Are we allowed to?
It's like if you sing it short enough, snappy enough, and off key enough, then you get recognized. So
I love them, but they don't
We're
own
fine.
Stained. They don't own Stained. I love them all, but they don't own
No,
Stained.
I was referring to Melissa's. We're fine. What were we now?
Oh, if we're singing it off key enough and with enough flourish.
Just sing it super off key, just enough flourish, and you're good. That's how you avoid it, right? Like that's definitely.
But it's our own. It's our own song. Or it's parody. It's parody. It falls under parody.
Fair use, quote unquote. Fair use. Hey friends, it's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're keeping okay. Hope you got some water and that you're chilling out. Hope that you're not caught in whatever awful storm is going on, whether that be the actual storm or whatever. Oh no,
Did you guys
we
hear
lost
that?
Facebook storm? Yes.
yeah, it is thundering hard outside right now.
Good. So if we randomly lose our monk, then we know what's happened. You've unfortunately been lost in the storm for a little bit. Okay.
No, something has
Thunderstruck.
taken over his mind, and he has left.
Oh no, not that either. I hope.
No, someone just threw a bucket of water on our monk, and it's super effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sizzles out. He's like you're like Charmander if the flame goes out on your tail, but it's just like your body instead. That was a little dark. Let's move on.
I was gonna go with like fucking Elphaba from Wicked, and you went with the sad episode of Pokemon.
I mean, Elphaba dies with water, so yeah, like the same result either way. It's just one's a lot cuter. Anyway. What an intro. What a start. Talking about bloody Wicked and Pokemon. Excellent. Yeah, we're gonna play some D&D, maybe. Probably. Fingers crossed. Before we go ahead and do that, though, there are a few people that help keep us as Friends Who Roll Dice on the air. Just want to mention them real quick. The first folks, the wonderful folks at Grinding Coffee. This is going to be a real easy advert. They now have pumpkin spice. Go. Check out Grinding Coffee Co.
Okay, bye.
Throw in FWRD for some money off your order. Go and get some pumpkin spice coffee from a Black LGBT plus owned community. What are you waiting for? Unless you're like me and you don't like pumpkin, and even then, I will buy it for someone else. So, go do that. The next folks are the wonderful folks at Dice Envy, who we are affiliated with. You can go ahead and check out our referral link, which should pop up in chat in just a moment, or if you do !Dice Envy for any of the mods in chat, it's there. They do a fantastic collection of various different dice, materials, patterns, you name it. And Lord knows you always need more dice, especially when you're playing tabletop role-playing games. So go ahead and check them out. Anything you spend with the affiliate wink? Affiliate wink, yes.
Well, you know.
Twinkle. Damn it. Affiliate link comes and supports the channel, and you also support Dice Envy, who are some amazing folks. So yeah. Yeah, go check them out. The last folks are, of course, Roll20, our wonderful folks at Roll20. We are a Spotlight partnered stream. Go ahead and check out Roll20. It's an amazing online tool set to bring your pen and paper RPGs to the screen. I have been intimately learning how to use Roll20, considering I'm going to be running a few more games locally, just for some other students at university and things like that. So I've been getting a little more, I can't say I'm good with it, but I'm a little more affiliated with it now, and it is a fantastic tool set you can use. You can sign up for free and use a bunch of the free tools, or you can pay for a subscription and get access to a whole bunch of other things. They're doing a huge push on their dynamic lighting right now. They've just released a new dynamic lighting update, and there's a whole bunch of new updates coming within the next few weeks as well. You want to check those out. They're fantastic. They're great. I love using them. I love learning all the things that I could have used if I had paid attention. So go ahead and check out roll20.net. This is how we roll. With that being said, and we're a little, what's the word? Wiggly. There we go. Let's go ahead and start the session. So, as of last time, the group had revealed, perhaps, that the leader of the infamous assassin group, the Lunas Sorritas, was possibly some kind of horrible undead squid thing. So, that's nice. The group had spent a lot of time trying to, one, make sure that the Queen and their confidants were protected, and two, to work out what on earth you were doing next. A lot of research led to a lot of nothing. A lot of very few answers, unfortunately. And so the group decided to get on with a few of the tasks that they were already planning on doing. The first one ended up being taking out an old abandoned fortification. This building had been abandoned for a good at least 1,000 years at this point, as war has never really seen Scythia. Regardless, when you all got there to check the place out, it had been taken over by some ruffians, or one ruffian very specifically, a interesting, aggressive, and cocky bard who had created his own undead army and had a perchance for the more musical flares. A fight ensued. Dewan got stabbed by a minotaur. Orin decided to throw himself off of a building. Well, decided is perhaps not the correct term.
Orin decided to go crowd
Decided
surfing.
to? No.
He wanted to go crowd surfing. On air.
In the crowd.
I was having a great time, and I figured, let's go! And face first into the dirt, which was not fun.
Indeed, and you missed the very deep well by, that much.
Oh, no.
Yeah. A fight ensued. The individual had been defeated. A brief conversation with your little parasitic friend that you've been carrying, perhaps, and a conversation between perhaps and this individual meant that they had agreed to bond, let's say. We'll say bond. As that process is going down, you realize that you need to take a look around the place and fix the place up. And that's exactly what you did. And the process took quite a bit. Sections of the walls needed to be repaired, rooms needed to be cleared out, they needed to be cleaned, they needed to be repurposed. Useless things needed to be gotten rid of. You needed to staff the place. You needed to supply the place. And so, y'all spent about a month at this place. Has now, I believe, been deemed Stonehaven. This fortress, a little bit away from the capital. The area is now a hell of a lot cleaner than it once was, that's for sure. Scrap and debris gotten rid of, recycled where possible, and ditched where it couldn't be. The entire area has now been redone. Fresh beds, fresh supplies, food, drinks, alcohol, especially with the rebuilt barracks, which you have now staffed with a few individuals. Some guards, some blacksmiths, a scribe / librarian for one of the repurposed empty rooms in the building, and a gardener, of course, to look after the plants when you are not here. The plant is also, the garden, sorry, is also a an apprentice alchemist, so they understand how to take care of the stranger plants that you had found yourself strapped with during your renovation of the place. Of course, the world itself moves as well during this time. Some good news and some bad news lies within pretty much every missive that you may receive. Now that this is an actual place where you are contactable, you get mail. Have fun with that. No, but seriously, you are sent regular missives from Scythia itself, updating you on whatever situation would deem relevant, or whatever information, that they would deem relevant. Your good news lies in the fact that there doesn't seem to be any kind of increase in the rates of reports regarding to the missing individuals. The bad news lies in the fact that unfortunately it's not slowed down or stopped either. It seems to be around about the same rate of small caravans and villages going missing. No large major city has been attacked other than the ones you are already aware of in Zenri. During the time that you've been here, pretty much the entirety of Zenri has been evacuated to the best of its ability. Obviously, being in small towns and tight-knit communities, some people decided not to leave, and that is entirely their prerogative to do so. But those people who did want to leave were escorted out of the country for now until whatever these situations are actually begins to let up. Unfortunately, there's not much more information about the attackers. People reporting seeing strange things appear in the sky at will and disappear just as fast. Puffs of black smoke and soot, all that remains on the ground once a place has been hit. None of the tools or supplies or treasures of the area have been touched or taken either. All the jewelry, the gold, the food, cutlery, all in the same place. You do get the notice that some of these reports are beginning to come from further and further away. Towards the other borders, past Scythia, small reports are beginning to appear from the fringes of Endir. And a few reports from across the sea as well, although thankfully they are sparse and few and far in between. It seems like whatever is happening here, Zenri was indeed just the first. This month passes without too much more information, unfortunately. Until the full power of summer rolls around. As everything becomes more colorful, as the summer plants begin to bloom. Many sneezes of those struggling with hay fever, as my experience of summer usually is. The place is beginning to bloom and become beautiful, even more so than it normally is, and the days begin to extend and get longer. One day, as you're beginning to settle into this land, some individuals that you have previously reached out to and hired have now joined the fort and are running things to the best of their ability. It is also on that day that a strange summons appears. Once the fort is now fully built and fully repaired, fully staffed, what do you think your characters would be doing on a day, on just a regular day, as this summons has arrived?
I would just be tending to plants and stuff in my area, like making sure they're okay and asking if they need anything, just in general gardening, plant mom stuff.
You're happy to see that the soil underneath the earth doesn't need any further treatment from you power-wise. It does seem to be, although not used for a while, you had to till kind of some of the dead soil and some of the dead matter out, but the ground underneath is fertile. It's pretty well fertile as well, and across this month you have built this budding garden, and especially with summer now coming around, you're beginning to see just those small cracks of the buds beginning to open up, and you can see the colors just about coming around. And yeah, they are well taken care of under your protection. You can't wait to see them fully grow both this year and next year for some of the larger plants into a full, beautiful garden.
Dawn, I'm pretty sure I said it last session, but Dawn did cast plant growth on our area. So, extra happy.
It's even more fertile.
Dawn would be in her tower clinic, just like preparing and maybe talking with. She has like a fellow healer cleric with her, right? Did we talk about that?
I don't think we did.
Yeah, I thought that was coming from her village.
Yeah, so that like when we're gone,
yes,
they were bringing her stuff.
Yes.
And
yeah.
Yes.
A fellow village cleric is bringing my stuff, and also when we're gone, it's not like, oh, the clinic's closed. Bye.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh
you
yeah,
can go
by the
ahead
way,
and
can you
grab.
bring a wagon full of my stuff with you?
Yeah.
Good.
Hey, so a job opened up. Do you mind coming here? Also, do you mind bringing my entire house with you? All of the stuff.
You just
Can you
pack it up. It's fine.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
We relocated. It's your responsibility to relocate it.
They had like a scroll of fine steed that they had to pick up to pull the wagons. They didn't have to do it themselves. Like, no, that's cool.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
so she's probably like just talking about different potions and prepping stuff for making sure everything is well stocked.
And it's been a little bit of a time, actually, considering the delivery of the supply of fresh ingredients, not only food, but also alchemical ingredients for you to be able to keep people well and healthy, mixed with the ingredients that were already here, some of the more obscure and magically inclined ingredients that some of them even you haven't seen and you've been having to like research about, also mixed with your own inventory from home, means that you've kind of had to re-amalgamate a lot of stuff, and you've had to reorganize a lot, and this jar's half empty, all right, gotta go ahead, and that's probably taken a large amount of time. Luckily, having an extra set of hands is a good thing, but the occasional appearance of some paws and claws to attempt to push off some of the bottles from the side has also hampered you just a little bit. But yeah, the process has gone relatively smoothly. With help from you two and your on-site gardener, you have also relocated the majority of the necrodancer's stuff. And above you now, where there was a fortification, there is now a rooftop garden that is covered with whatever you need that is growing. Obviously, Jacaranda has a larger garden outside, but this one is specifically for alchemical regions and some of the funkier things that you found during your time there.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
What time of day is it?
Probably early morning, realistically, because they wouldn't want to be rude and send send a missive at night, so they'd want to get to you like the best time, and they just hope you don't lie in. So yeah, what do you think you would be doing, Oren?
Oren would probably be in his little kind of, it was once the storage room for the fighting pit, and now turned into his bedroom, and just kind of meditating for a little bit. He'll probably hear the guards doing their morning like training sessions out in the fighting pit, and he'll probably join them and just kind of like, oh, you think you're good now? We have had quite a bit of enemies with quite a lot of strange powers.
Don't scare them away. Sheesh.
I've killed
Let's
a
see
Hydra.
how you deal
Fight
with this,
me.
and he'll like cast like fireballs at him and shit. Just like off to the side, like not aiming to actually hit them, but like keep them on their toes and just kind of go through a little training session.
Oh yeah, most certainly. And the guards are quite a group. Almost as eclectic as your own party. There are many different people here of many different ages, many different experiences, etc. Probably the one you would enjoy sparring with the most is probably Martha Shiversut. There we go. Got there in the end.
Martha?
Martha Shiversut, yes. Martha, no.
Why did you say that name?
Sorry, I got it.
Sorry. I mean, what was the last name? Sorry.
Shiversut. Yes. They are a gnome individual who seems to be able to handle pretty much every other guard here with relative ease. And they're the only one that you would probably approach to have a full contact, like, right, let's go, I need to keep my skills up. You can tell they're an older gnome, and you can see past their like dyed blue hair that there is a lot of gray kind of sticking out. It's pretty obvious, but it's also definitely more of a stylistic choice. They've chose to kind of accent the gray rather than just completely dye over it. But yeah, they give you a damn run for your money. They'll step in, kind of just see you're in the ring. They'll shrug and throw their great sword to the ground and just get ready to go. But everyone else is more skilled, definitely in weapon combat than unarmed. So Martha's probably the only true challenge you've had here so far.
Well, that was quite a session there, Martha. Boy, the sisters, you're impressive.
She kind of just looks at you, looks across like her hands where the bruises are, just, I've been told as much. Yep. At least you can throw a punch. The rest of these fools don't seem to be able to.
All right, you lot. Martha's in charge now. Anything she says goes.
The rest
I'll
of them
have to check
like...
with Mara, because she's the one that's paying you, I think. But I think I have the authority to say that. I have the authority to say that.
They kind of chuckle between each other and then look towards Mara with a bit of nerves. And Martha. I should have chosen Martha as the name. This is gonna get confusing. Martha will let out one small chuckle as their face kind of goes back to deadpan as they go, nope, not me. For a start, yes, you're right. Mara's paying us, so, they're in charge. But also, Bo's in charge of the guards here, so. And she throws her thumb to someone who you haven't actually seen in the fighting
Bo?
pit yet. You haven't
The
seen
Bo
them
I've
fight,
met?
but they've been here. No, different Bo.
Okay.
No, not that Bo. Different Bo. But yeah, someone who you haven't actually seen in the fighting pit yet, but is always watching. Always. You see, elderly even for a Fyrbolg, this individual sat in the corner with a very nice kind of whitish outfit that covers most of their body. You can see where it's been meticulously repaired with very basic Martha no. Damn it. I shouldn't read chat. Yeah. A very nice white suit that has been meticulously repaired over time. However, you can see that whoever repaired it wasn't the best seamstress. It's seamer or seamstress. It's been very much kind of random pieces of fabric, little pieces added, dyed white, and then stitched up together, and hoping that from afar no one notices. They have a slew of like white gray hair that's pushed back and always kept in a ponytail. They are large, even for members of their species. They're a pretty large individual.
And I'm sorry, I missed their species.
Fyrbolg.
Fyrbolg.
Oh, Fyrbolg. Okay.
Yeah. They're definitely more of a traditional kind of, more of a like a Nordic like Fyrbolg than some of the more stylized things you might see. You know, very kind of giant / troll like in a way. But yeah, and they sit off in the corner, and Martha kind of throws a thumb and just, wasn't judge, always has been. But appreciate the compliments regardless.
Well, you're quite a scrapper. And anytime you want to go at it, give it a go. Give me a holler.
I would hope I'm a good scrapper. Otherwise, why would your friend be paying me?
It's true.
Regardless, like I say, happy to be in the ring with someone who learns how to punch. They'll give you a bow. They'll pick up. What you probably realize is this is a gnome with a human-sized greatsword, and they just pick it up and carry it on their side like it's nothing. They'll just whisk it away.
Wait a sisters.
Yeah, that is one of the many well, two technically, if you count Bo. Two of the many individuals who you have found yourself stuck in with. Mara, what do you think you've been doing during the regular day before this missive arrives?
Mara is in the stable talking to the egg that Adam sent us.
Mm-hmm. So you do have this stable set up. Your current mounts are in there. There's also 2 spare horses. There's a couple of dogs, a cat. And during the time that you've been here, you received a small letter. And the letter came in along with a rucksack rather than just a regular letter. And as it arrived, there's a small note inside that just says, thanks for everything you've done so far. I know you'll find a home eventually, so I'm sure they'll know where to send this. And it has 2 big glasses of fruit juice in it and a small egg that has been wrapped up in insulative pieces, and it is signed Adam. And yeah, it has been placed in the stable. The Beastmaster has been taking care of it when you yourself are not there. It seems to be pretty far along its development cycle. You imagine within maybe a few weeks it'll hatch. But yeah, it was a very nice gesture. It's pretty small egg in all actuality, probably the size of like probably the size of a sparrow with the same kind of coloration. But yeah. The rest of the animals inside are well looked after. Your mounts are well kept and well groomed as well. You can go ahead and pop in there and visit them at any time. And
The Queen
yes,
just let us have these mounts? Wow.
I mean, technically, you're still
Borrowing them?
Yeah, you're still borrowing them. It's more she never asked for them back, so it's like.
Mara,
As far
don't
as the
question
queen,
things,
as far as
just
the queen
accept
is
it.
concerned,
These are our
as far as the
Probably
queen
making
is
up
concerned,
for putting us in the freaking jail.
Yeah, as far as the queen is concerned, considering the missives that you're being sent with military information as well, like she considers the mission not quite over yet. She knows that you have a role to play, so she's just like, she ain't asking for them back. Like,
So we kind of work for her.
Yeah. You
The company vehicle.
Yeah, literally, it's the company vehicle. Stick a couple of symbols of Scythia on the side, you're golden. Like, a couple of symbols of Ansire, and you're fine. But yeah, they're looked after, they're groomed, they're fed, all of that kind of thing, and then the stable's open for you to go ahead and take a look. It's probably during one of these visits then that this missive would arrive, as you are now closest to the front gate. And you get a yell from one of the guards of just, anyone on the other side? I kind of need some advice about this particular situation. Has anyone lost a dog?
So they're right outside the front gate.
Mm-hmm.
I will just climb up that wall and I'll just be on the top of it to see what's going on.
Mara would head towards that. She'd say goodbye to the egg first.
Just had an image of Mara tucking it in, like, you're
Yes.
gonna grow big one day.
She's a Disney princess, I told you.
There's like the mosquito netting
Amazing.
curtains around the egg. Pillows everywhere.
I love it. But I love it. Yeah. As you kind of come round and look through the portcullis, and as Jacaranda has climbed up, you see coming down the kind of makeshift road that that has been created. It's pretty much been created just by the amount of supplies that have been wheeled to and from here. It definitely still needs a proper mason's go over, but for now it is serviceable enough. And coming up the road just by the side, holding some kind of letter in its mouth, is this relatively large four-legged creature. It's very much colored in that kind of white to black gradient, not white to black, sorry, red to black gradient fade. Red across most of the body, but then as it kind of gets to the large bushy tail, it kind of begins to turn into a little bit more of a black shade. It's a pretty large creature. You can tell by its stance and how it's walking that it's definitely more of a speedster than something that is built around power. It's very it's very sleek, but it's also a little bit puffy around the chest area. The creature itself, as it looks up, has more of a kind of a mixture of canine and feline features. It has these longer, sharper ears that come around. Still a very kind of an impressive jaw. You imagine a bite from this creature would probably be quite nasty, but it also has almost a slightly more feline face with kind of whiskers coming out the side. It's kind of cute, honestly. It's kind of like a strange mix between a fox looks and like more of a traditional lynx, I suppose. It's cute. It's sweet. It seems to be coming up the road and making its way directly to the fort.
Once Mara sees him, she books it.
Open the gate, open the gate.
Say,
Open it.
you can't tell us that the animals are cute, or else the animals aren't going to go home.
This animal's not going home.
This animal.
It's my friend Shikari.
Oh, the animal is.
The gate
home.
begins to pull, to pull up, and you kind of slide underneath the gate and begin running up towards this thing. And as it spots you, it pauses for a moment, just having not seen you in a while. It just goes ahead and pauses for just a moment. And as you keep running, you see that look of realization on its face, and it begins to sprint at you. And you don't even get a chance to like outstretch your arms or anything like that. It takes you down. It jumps straight, like all fours, just onto your chest, takes you down, and just starts licking around your face.
There are lots of hugs and snuggles happening in the middle of the road.
As it jumps at you, the letter drops out of its mouth and kind of just falls to the wayside. As you're just like, you are given all of the pet snuggles. All of the pet snuggles. Jacaranda, you see this whole thing play out in front of you.
Is there like a lot of happy squealing and laughter and joyful sounds?
Oh yes, lots of joy.
Then Dawan is going to join Jacaranda and just look at this.
Orphan as well would be like, what is going on out there?
Well, it doesn't sound bad, so I'm gonna say Mara has it handled.
No, it sounds very good. Very, very good.
Just peeking out the doorway and just like, it's so sweet.
After a little bit of cuddling, it'll go ahead and pull itself away so that you can get up, and it'll pick up the letter back from the ground, kind of offering it up to you. You immediately recognize on the back of the letter the decorative tree sigil of Endia. The country sigil.
Okay. So she casts Speak with Animals, and she's going to talk to Shikari as they're walking back towards the Stonehaven, and she's opening the letter. So how was your trip? Did you run into any trouble? Did you eat well? You're looking kind of thin.
I need to think of a voice for Shikari now. I'm like, but yeah, they'll let you know that things have been okay. They've been traveling for quite a while, but there weren't any messengers that were currently free from Endia. The messengers are being run ragged with various different things. So they've been traveling for a while by themselves, and they've been trying to eat well, but it seems like they're a bit rusty. It is difficult to acclimatize to a country that has different prey. Even if it's only slight differences, it's difficult. So, but they're okay. They're doing well. The letter itself.
Say.
Yeah. The letter itself, as it unwraps, is... First of all, it is immediately encoded in the same political cipher that you have experienced many a time in some of the more secretive missives between nobles. You gather... This has probably been sent from someone who knows you personally. And it simply says, Dearest Mara, I hope that your travels are currently going well. It's been a while since we've seen you home. Some of the people are starting to miss you, but we understand that sometimes the wind calls. I have no doubt that you've probably been hearing about some of the incidents happening in other places. Unfortunately, they are also happening here too. Not many, thankfully, but we've already had a few smaller villages turn up empty. Pretty much everyone has been mobilized to keep an eye on things as best we can. It has been a while since I've seen everyone riled up quite like this. But fingers crossed that everything is going to be just fine. We plan on sending an envoy shortly to Scythia in order to speak with the Queen there, who summoned multiple leaders from across Vega so far in order to talk about the current situation and how we could possibly battle it. We're hoping that you will be in attendance, partly to assist in representing our side of things, but partly because we're sending along someone familiar that you might like to see. That'll be all from now, but I do hope to hear from you soon. You see a little stamp underneath of a family crest that you certainly recognize by now.
So what was sent, that was the message it conveyed across, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mara's like, we still don't know anything. So she walks inside and she's like, come on, Shikari, I want to introduce you to everyone.
You all receive, if you have not already, you have all received a summons. So it sounds like everyone ran outside when they heard the laughing and the happiness. But yeah, you see this large, fox-like, lynx-like creature in front of you. It's a little dirty, having spent a lot of time moving, but for the most part, it is still a beautiful specimen.
One is if you thought that she was like super excited to see a giant wolf cat.
Right?
This is actually like a wolf cat. This is a fox cat.
It's a fox cat.
So she's just like, can I pet them?
Ask them.
Yeah, I would wait until they approached me, like still, but reaching.
That one's gonna like hold out her hand.
Shikari does that thing where they are still a very independent animal. So they'll go ahead and make a few slow steps, but they do just throw a quick look back to Mara for a second and just see what your response is.
Shikari, this is my new family. My extended family? They're family.
As a small bow, as they turn, you see that kind of, that predatory tenseness kind of drop away, and they immediately become a house cat as they stroll up, and they kind of walk through your hand as cats do, and then kind of begin to wrap their tail kind of around your legs and just kind of rub around.
As they walk through Dawn's hand, she does, because she is a cat lover, does the like scritch against their back spine, but like doesn't actually try to like hold on to them or anything, just like a
and this thing is big. Like this thing is like, yeah,
that's
this
why
thing
I reached up
big.
up here to do my hand scritch and not down here. Oh, Orin.
Orin will stand there and just, I'm assuming that I am at my fullest height, face to face with this creature.
Probably a bit higher. Yeah, this thing is like close to a horse.
I'm looking up at it. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
They would be like even slightly bigger than Looper at this point, or maybe like
whoa.
around the same size.
So at the haunches, what, like 4 feet?
Yeah,
At the shoulders?
they are longer than a wolf and not quite as bulky in terms of like muscle or fur, but you could imagine that they would be faster than Looper.
So, yeah, as it kind of comes towards me, I will bow, and then just like slowly look up and reach up,
I love Orin.
and if I get the little like face rub, I'll give scritches.
I think.
But if not, then it's just like,
Mara, has Shikari been bowed to before? Do you think? Or do you think that's a
No.
first?
That's probably a first because Mara would have never bowed to Shikari.
So there's probably a solid moment of confusion there as you bow, and then as you kind of stretch your arm up, you watch as it slinks its whole body down, and will almost like not quite cat sit, but they are very kind of low as they will let you pet and let you scritch.
yay, screeches behind the ears.
I'm just trying to think of Shikari's skull compared to Orin's skull size.
Probably bigger.
Yeah.
If y'all want to go ahead and do nature checks for me real quick, other than Mara.
It's a 13. Oh, I have real dice.
Well,
Right.
21.
Okay. DC's not exactly high. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't any super bad ones.
Yeah.
Melissa, your comment in Twitch,
the Olive Garden statement, yeah. You're here, your family.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Even I know, I'm British. Even I know that joke.
Family.
Family.
Yeah.
Just bloody, what's his Vin Diesel standing at the front of the
Dumb.
fort? Just like.
Vin Diesel standing in the front of this fort giving out free breadsticks.
All the family.
Free Olive Garden breadsticks. Ah, yes. Hey, Olive Garden, sponsor it.
Yeah.
We're not in any way sponsored by Olive Garden, but not adverse to it.
Other strange pseudo-Italian places are available.
But are you family there?
Sure.
My grandfather would be so happy.
Yeah, so these are pretty rare creatures, even where they come from. They are Ryskin. I believe that's how we pronounced it. Ryskin are native only to India, so just this one country, and they're very much kind of like a white stag in Arthurian legend. Seeing one is a very big deal. It's very much a symbol of luck, and a lot of people believe that it is a symbol of coming positive change. So these creatures are pretty revered by a lot of people as a good luck charm, so to speak.
And Mara, how do you spell their name?
Shikari, Shikari.
Thank you.
There's a band I like called Enter Shikari, so I will not forget the name.
I have played with Enter Shikari. Fun fact, because they come from literally the town over from me. They come from
Wow,
Smolensk,
that's
so,
awesome.
Fun fact. That's a story.
I've seen
for
them
later.
twice actually. They're good. They put on a really good show. Anyway, Shikari is great.
Yes. Shikari the Shikari the rice skin. And yes, they seem friendly enough. You do notice just with that 21, you do notice there's a slightly different vibe about them than some of the other creatures you've kind of come into contact with. With Astralora, there was definitely a magical bond between her and Eredin being, familiar. There's certainly a magical bond between Nawi and Lupa. You feel the bond here is less on the magical side and more of just a general friendship / respect.
Well, after she introduces everyone to Shikari, she goes in the house and hopefully we have meat and get some meat to feed Shikari.
Yes, there is plenty of supplies. Y'all stocked up big time, and your scribe will assist in the logistics of things as well, so you won't ever have to worry about food or anything like that unless I would specifically mention it for a reason. So you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead and head inside, and there's some storage in where the main hall area is. There's often taken upstairs to create meals and stuff, so you can head in there and grab whatever they need, and their eyes kind of do that thing where they just as you pull out one of these pieces. Yeah, they are not malnourished by any means, but you imagine that they have been kind of just getting on with what they can.
Well,
so,
it was a long trip, and
yeah. Oh, you know it. They need water and they need food. Stat.
and she would show Shikari around and offer him to either stay inside or outside, and ask Jacaranda if he could stay in her little area that she set aside.
Yeah, of course. There should be more than enough room. I'm assuming they know not to run into the flowers or anything like that, right? I look at Shikari.
He doesn't dig, does he?
Yeah, like, please don't dig anything.
Get a couple of blinks. And just a small bow.
If you want to dig, and she points over to like by the stables in like a corner. Dig yes, dig no.
It's fine. Mara still has speak with animals up. It's fine.
I can speak with animals.
No, Jacaranda naturally speaks with animals.
Yeah, I can speak with
animals.
animals.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Sorry, I completely forgot. Yeah, no. It's again still a few blinks and then just a slow nod. You can definitely feel like it's like a kid being told like, oh, here and you can play.
I want to try to like, you know how you can get dogs riled up by like going down a little bit and like moving really quickly, like back and forth. I want to kind of try to do that and see if they respond to that at all.
Sorry, the visual of a big tree person just going.
And if they do respond, then Jacaranda is gonna basically run over to the wall and then like climb up the wall on the side.
They certainly do respond. They're somewhere between like a cat and a dog, where they're playful, but they won't be playful for too long. So when they are, you have to make the most of it. Like, one second, I'm doing maths.
Where the dog sticks their legs out real far, but it's like,
yeah.
And the maths in my head. I'm like, okay, so considering how high the wall is, could Shikari make that jump? I think you would just fall short. Only
I'm just gonna go like not all at the wall, but just like on the wall and then like back down. Like,
oh yeah,
just
you
so
know
it's almost
that.
like a
Shikari doesn't know that.
backstop. Yeah.
So as soon as you get towards the top, you watch as they just full sprint upwards, and they just kind of, with the last claw, they kind of touch the top of the wall, and they just kind of slide down
Wow.
as you're going down as well. They kind of just turn to you, look up, and they just kind of shake it off, and you just see this mound of fur just as they'll go ahead and head towards not too close to your garden area, but like a little closer, and they'll not dig, but kind of clear a little patch for themselves, and they'll just slump down. Their eyes flitting between both Mara and Jacaranda.
And then Mara would go, guys, we got a message. I'm not very happy about, but we should probably talk.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we should.
Is more of a dining room or war room kind of discussion?
It can be anywhere. We trust our people, so
Fair.
we might want to bring perhaps out though.
Oh, where?
Is he
Where
all right?
is
I
he?
mean, he's been away. He's been locked away in his room. Not like we locked him away, but he's kind of isolated himself, and I don't know if
He's
he's
just
adjusted.
getting. Well, he's plenty adjusted now.
He's adjusted to his new body. I mean, he's got to.
Yeah.
That's
We've been working on it. He no longer falls over. It's okay.
It's not good to stay in there all alone, all out for that long. We need to get him out, anyways. But is this are we speaking strategy? Do we need room to? And then Dawan like gestures.
I don't know. I mean, if you guys have a preference, outside, inside, it doesn't matter. I mean, everyone here is family, so they can know what's going on.
We've got a brand new war room that we haven't used yet.
Okay, we will go to the war room.
I was.
We're not going to war, but
I'm
okay.
just thinking if
It's
we have food.
okay. Planning room.
Yeah.
Planning room. Okay.
Strategy room.
Family
Puzzle
room.
Game room.
The family. This
Yeah.
is the family room.
All right, let's clear this board of Monopoly off the table now.
So after we get in there,
Amazing.
and we have someone fetch, perhaps.
Mhm. Yeah, perhaps it's been interesting.
If he doesn't come, I'm gonna go up to his room and drag him by the ear.
During this entire time, the more iron-stomached of folks moved perhaps from where he currently was up into what used to be the necromancer's room. And pretty much the entire time they've been here, the door has been closed and it has been locked. And whatever conversations you had between perhaps were done through the door kind of thing. As Mara just said, like kind of teaching him how to properly stand upright and things. You'd hear just the occasional or thud or whatever from behind. Yeah, you've not really seen the results properly of the transformation yet. So you've definitely heard him stirring more than he has been previously. He's been walking around and actually doing things in the room, it seems. But yeah, if you would like to go and fetch him, you most certainly can. Or send someone to fetch him. That's up to you.
No, Orin will run up there, and he's gonna actually just like sprint up, and like a few times he's like running up the walls a little bit because it's a newfound thing that he can do, and he's very excited about it. He's like, Stuart, look what I can do.
So
You're
between
going around.
Orin-
You're going around this tower like horizontally. Just...
Yeah, like between Orin and Jacaranda, just there's no wall that's safe in the entire fort. It's just constant wall climbing.
I feel like
And our guards are like, there are ramps. Why are they running up?
no, I feel like we've embraced it.
Because it's fun to do.
I feel like there are handholds and footholds everywhere. Like 100%, Dawn's tower has that like cat wall
Oh yeah.
jungle gym to get to
Oh
the
yeah,
top
where
flo-
you build the little
Yeah,
platforms
yeah,
for your
yeah,
cats all around
yeah.
the walls. Like, oh yeah.
and like wraps
and,
around.
and Orin will utilize that, but sometimes he'll just be like, I can run up the street wall. And he'll knock on the door. Perhaps it's been a while since you've been in there by yourself. We could use your assistance if you care to join us. Please.
There's a moment of silence. And then another moment before you hear some slow footsteps, just a sigh behind the door, just click. We'll open up the door. And the first thing you see is it's very bright in here. And as the door opens up, on the very back wall, as they've kind of opened up the door with themselves moving as well, on the very back wall, spreading across the entire thing, is a meticulously painted waterfall scene. Loads of different trees scattered around the outside, stones, and then this large flow, this large current of water, all pooling towards the bottom. And that's all that it seems to be in this room, just this one painting and what appears to be a small set of painting supplies that they have accrued from somewhere. As this painting is spread across, they will come around and you see that they're looking a little different. Quite a bit different, actually. Their body itself seems to be relatively the same height, same kind of stature, etc. And as it kind of comes up closer to their face, you can see that they are wearing some kind of torn off covering that covers past their neck and across the majority of their face and across their nose. Their eyes themselves now seem to glow with this purplish tint, as they seem to have a large section of like almost gold. It's not quite blonde. It's not dull enough. It's more shiny. This kind of goldish hair that kind of flows down from the top in a widow's peak and back. Their skin itself almost looks a little older than before, but they still hold the same kind of body shape and mannerisms as they look towards you. Just
Real quick, before you speak, retcon, Dewan, I bet he sounds like that douchebag necrocat dancer. I'll get 5 silver.
I'll take you on that bet. I bet you he sounds like that necrodancer. Trying to be smart.
Oh, that's
So-
probably it, too. All right.
I'm so confused about who would win that bet.
I don't know. That's a strange bet.
you'd have to wait until they start
Yes.
talking about something like intelligible to be able to.
Yeah. No, all right. The voice that we heard in our head, or the voice that came out of that spot. What do you think?
Did we even hear a voice in our head? Was that?
Perhaps a spoken.
no.
They're just well spoken.
Yeah, but like,
My bet is that he's going, despite what he would like, he's gonna sound like the necrodancer.
yes.
Oh, so you're not gonna take it. All right, fine.
No,
Never mind.
I still think that one agrees with you, but she thinks that he's going to sound like the necrodancer was confident. He's going to sound like the librarian version of the necrodancer.
I
Mara's
totally
gonna
agree with
speak
you.
up
All
and
right.
say, you assume he's gonna use his vocal cords.
I think they
Oh,
mean
but I hope he does.
mannerisms.
It's creepy when he speaks in her head. And besides, we got the rings of mind shielding.
Which means he has to knock.
So he'll have to,
He can still speak to us,
but he'll have to. Although,
but he was not raised with vocal cords. And it's only been 30 days.
All right, well, I guess we'll
it's
find
going
out.
to be a garbled mess.
All right. Never mind.
Are you?
Sorry.
Do you mean is the accent nature or nurture?
That's pretty much what
Yeah.
I was going for. And I'm just very curious to hear what perhaps sounds like in this dude's
It's
body.
gonna be so underwhelming.
So, you step inside, and, or rather, you don't step inside. They step kind of away and pull the door open. And if you step inside, yeah, you'll hear a little knock on your mental door.
Yes, you may speak.
Everything is still a little odd considering the current situation, so... Hi, hello. The process has been complete for a little while, but... I kind of feel like I'm wearing a clown outfit. I'm not feeling particularly fantastic when it comes to, social interactions. I wasn't particularly greeted anyway. Especially considering I've been kept in a bag for the past 3 months.
It was
2
a
months.
jar.
It was a bottle.
It was a bottle in your pocket. It's basically the same thing. You're
I
not
know.
here.
It was a jar. All right, fine. I will. I'll admit that it was
Not an insult, just an observation.
not the best thing. But
Mara's not there, but it was
Fair.
better than being inside Orin's head.
Being cooped up for a long amount of time makes things kind of difficult when you eventually have to reintegrate with normal society. Bet no one's feeling that right now. Out of character.
I don't know what
Right.
you're talking about.
all right. So Mara's got some news. Not sure exactly about what, but we could possibly use your assistance.
My assistance. Interesting, right? I suppose I'd have to leave this spring eventually. Alright, fine.
I like what you've done with the place, though.
Thank you, I appreciate it. There is an amalgamation of minds during the process. This individual was a very creative sort, and I felt the need to let out that outlet while wearing a very twisted individual, creative. So I took up whatever this is in your language.
I'm not quite sure what to call it.
There will probably be more. I will attempt to refrain from leaving them in places. I'll stick just to this room. Anyway, I'll be off.
Shall we?
Very well. You see immediately that they are using some kind of like walking stick. Even though the kind of lessons through the wall with Mara have helped, they're still not 100% sturdy on their feet just yet, as they will go ahead and carefully wander down with you. If you were to poke your head around the rest of the room while they're gone, it is entirely empty, other than this mural and a small set of painting supplies on the floor. Not even like a table or a side or anything. But yeah. As they step down the stairs and head through, everyone would now see this similar looking individuals before, but with this large wrap kind of across the neck and mouth and nose, and this newfound kind of gold hair stringing down. And they'll throw a little bow towards you.
Look who I found. They finally came out of their room.
Dawn will bow back and then sidle up to Orin and whisper, "So, what does he sound like?"
He still speaks in me head, so normal, I guess.
That's no fun.
I know.
We'll have to convince him to speak some other way.
I don't like it when he speaks in me head. It's uncomfortable for me and just more work for somebody else I've heard of.
He can't knock on all of our doors to speak to us. What if we don't want to let him in? What if I don't want to let him in? But I have to listen to him. I don't want to be left out.
Speaking of which, you all do get that little telekinetic knock.
That one doesn't open the door.
Telekinetic? Telepathic.
Telekinetic.
Telekinetics.
Boom!
Telepathic knock on the door.
Out of character, we have the only mind flayer we saw was the half dead one, right? In the visions, did we see mind flayers?
You've seen kind of silhouetted figures, but nothing particularly like through the dream, but nothing concrete. The only creature that you have seen like that over the table would be whatever you killed that was taking Valirki's guys.
Okay.
Or Valirki herself, depending on what you end up finding out about that situation.
We're assuming as players that they're mind flayers, but this is so.
Yeah, above table, y'all have been the entire time. Y'all have been like, they're mind flayers. It's a mind flayer thing because it's all part of Orin's backstory. But like,
oh yeah, because Orin was the mind flayers controlled you.
Originally was mind controlled by a strange creature with tentacles on its face, or snake-like appendages, as he describes it.
That sounds like a mind flayer to me, the player, Jesse.
It does, because I love mind flayers, so I had to write that into my backstory. What?
And then when we fought Valirki after that whole situation, would you have told us?
I'm muted. Yeah, so like
told us that it was the same
above
thing?
table, everyone has kind of been like, oh, they're mind flayers. And then when you fought Valirki, when you fought and killed Valirki, Orin saw a very striking resemblance and a very strong familiarity with the creature. Mm-hmm. But like in game, you don't.
Yeah, we have no idea that they're mind flayers. Right. We just know that they're from this other place, and that the Magicarno went there, and
they're from a different plane, and they have had a brief encounter with vacant people, and it did not go well.
Yeah. And Orin has told you all everything as far as like his history.
Just none of the characters know them as mind flayers. We just
Which is really funny because when I asked for the rings of mind shielding, like I didn't know anything about mind flayers or anything. It was just that
Perhaps it's talking to us in our brain.
Orin, perhaps it was in your head.
Yeah.
I mean, technically,
We need to make you stronger.
Technically, I as a GM haven't confirmed it either, so who knows?
This is true.
Okay, but outside of game, after perhaps went into my head, you did send me the trailer of Baldur's Gate 3, which is literally a mind
did
flayer
send that
inserting a larvae
all
into
of
somebody's
us.
eye.
In my defense, it's because it came up in conversation after game. Anyway.
Okay.
Well, I went.
It's guideline. It's a guideline, not a rule.
They're more like
Right.
guidelines, really.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe that's what perhaps sounds like
Yes.
now. It's just a
Yes,
pirate for no
please.
reason.
Pirate time. Barbosa, please.
I would love Pirate Barbosa, perhaps.
hmm
Please. I beg.
Anyway, so yes, perhaps has arrived and you all gather around the planning table. The war
I
room,
ask
as it's
perhaps
been
how
mentioned.
it's going out loud.
Knock, knock, knock. As they look directly towards you.
Okay.
You let them in?
Mhm.
Let them talk?
Yep.
You open that mental door. They just... Sorry, I'm still getting used to those and how exactly they work. So I'm trying to avoid sounding like an idiot when necessary.
I feel like everybody who talks just does it. It's not, they don't worry about if they sound bad. They just go for it.
I suppose, but also when your primary method of communication has been this for so long, and you kind of get used to it, you know?
You can practice. Go,
As everyone is standing around, there's a slight rustle. And you just
Mara's
hear,
sitting at the table.
All right, we're all just sitting there watching this
yeah,
happen.
it says you're all sitting at the table. This is happening. You just suddenly hear out loud, just
you did it. See?
Booked on phonics worked for me.
Good job.
the mental voice comes back and just. Well, that was interesting. Is that something in your language, or is that just something you made me do for humor?
Languages are made up of sounds, and that was a sound. Oh, did you want me to talk to you through my...
I mean, you can speak out loud if you wish. That's fine. It's just that I would prefer to communicate in here so that I don't embarrass myself.
Okay. Well, yeah. Languages are made of sounds. That's one of the sounds in our language. And we can keep working on it if you want. I mean, if we go out somewhere, someone will probably want to talk with you. And I don't necessarily think everybody's just going to open their mind palace to a stranger.
Does that happen often? Strangers approaching you for conversations? I was kind of under the understanding that a lot of people like to just leave each other alone.
Yes and no.
Right.
Some people will leave you alone. Some people want to talk. I mean, we're talking now.
I mean, yes, but we have a slightly different arrangement, do we not?
But perhaps have you met me? Have I shut up since you've met me?
Oh, you haven't hugged them
The points you make are valid.
yet.
If Mara tries to go up and hug, perhaps, that one's just gonna, like, put a hand on her and be like,
She will not. So I've called you all here because I received a letter from Endir. Apparently, the disappearances are spreading to other places, and the Queen is calling heads of state here to to discuss, which means we'll probably be called in to discuss. So we should probably discuss what we're going to discuss.
Are we heads of state now? Is that what we get when we get a fancy place like
I was
this?
just going to ask the same thing.
What does that mean? Heads? Like Hydra?
Like responsible parties.
Is there?
But we have the most information, I think, out of anyone so far
So it's less that
about the
we're
disappearances.
heads of state and more just we are information brokers.
Correct.
This
Mm.
makes more sense
Yeah.
to me.
The disappearances. Okay.
I think how it works is that they are the actual leaders and you are the delivery folks.
The investigators.
The troublemakers.
I
Well,
suppose
that
both
too,
of those
but that
work.
goes without saying.
I trust
Um,
Dewan can't hear what perhaps is saying because Dewan was like, nah.
I'm not opening
No,
the mic.
Dawan kept the door closed. All Dawan's hearing is we're heads of state now, more like investigators, and then other things, troublemakers.
Well, Mara's saying all this
Yeah.
out loud. She
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
also speaking out.
she knows, perhaps understands her. She just
Yeah.
sits up.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Perhaps ask Dawan a question. She's not going to respond because she's not gonna...
I still think doing the X-Men thing is the best. Like when you're talking normally, you talk like this, but as soon as it's like psychic, you just go. That way, like everyone knows that you're speaking psychically.
Right. Everybody touch your forehead. Anybody listening to the podcast, I apologize.
Professor X
I
time. Let's go.
apologize.
I apologize. No, wait, no, they'll know.
Yeah, you do the
I do the echo
echoey.
thing, which I was really excited for perhaps to have a body.
Uh-huh.
Laughs in psychic.
Laughs inside.
Laughs and like
um
so maybe we should make a list of what we know to start out with. We know the people disappeared. They went to that creepy place that there were monsters, right?
well, they were kidnapped. Plain and
Yeah, like
simple.
taken. They were taken to
Right.
somewhere.
But the thing is how are we going to say we got this information? Is more of what I'm concerned with.
That's right, because we can't
say we
about
talked about
harmony.
Perhaps if
And if we
I
just say we had a
scribe-
vision, someone's gonna think we were eating too many mushrooms, and
I mean,
I
I
mean,
have
That just
seriously?
happens time to time.
That's
I do
I
have
mean,
visions.
it does. But
The world talks to me every night and shows me history of the area.
so are you willing to say that you had talked with the world and the world provided you with these visions?
Nature provides.
divining powers. Powers?
I
Spell?
can
Yeah.
scry and I can commune. I mean, I could. Do we know anyone specifically that disappeared? A name or? Because I could say that I had scribe
We have
on
a
them.
picture because Mara drew the picture of the person we saw in the vision.
Would Orin recognize any of the crew members from the original ship that vanished? Because I worked on the crew for a
more
little
than
bit.
likely. Yeah, more than likely. Go ahead and roll a history check for me.
Oh, right.
Can I help you remember something?
Oh, it's a
Unfortunately,
natural 19.
you
Okay,
weren't
good,
there.
good, good. With history. Oh, my history is good. 24.
Heck yes, you remember that person and you know their mom's name.
Okay, yeah. So it was a little while ago there, and you weren't on the ship for too long before it picked up the rest of its passengers, but you were working for a time. You did spend time in the mess hall and things like that. So there are a few individuals that you could remember. One of the individuals that kind of sticks out to you was kind of your you also they also happen to be a halfling, and they ended up kind of becoming your drinking buddy during the time, as you shared a lot of stories about more about kind of like halfling history and halfling culture between each other. They were Finnegan. Finnegan Dullspark, if you need a full name.
Dull Spark.
I know. I'm like,
Finnegan
what kind of
Dullspark.
name
Why
is
would
that?
you do that to a character?
Well, he
Finnegan,
wasn't the sharpest. He wasn't the brightest bulb in the bunch. I mean, come on, he was an alright guy.
No, the Dullspark family are engineers.
That was not Orin's voice. What the fuck?
No, not at all. No, the Dullspark family has a history of a lot of their family being engineers, which is where the name came from. A lot of that was dealing with the original kind of invention and experiments with the artificer magic. And so a lot of their time was spent either dulling or putting out experiments that had caused a lot of different things, hence the name Dullspark, because they were often dulling the magic in something in order to make it safe.
Could have used him when Joshua was around.
Finnegan himself is also not the brightest tool in the shed, so like it works either way. Not the sharpest knife in the crayon box, but we'll get there. Yeah, Finnegan Dullspark. That would be someone who you would know definitively. That's probably kind of the only full name you picked up.
And did I witness him disappear by chance? Or I guess for this purposes, it doesn't really matter if he disappeared or not. We can just tell them that you scryed on my old friends that I saw disappear.
Do we think that would be good enough to say I scried and that's how I got the vision of where just the situation? I mean, I wouldn't know exactly what happened. I would just know what it looked like.
They are anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, should I try to scry on them too and see what I see?
I mean, you could. I guess you could describe him to you. He's got like dirty blonde hair. And he's got mutton chops that come down to about his chin. Very big and bushy though, like almost to his nose, and then just straight down shaved. It's a very odd looking fella.
Okay.
He's a bit portly, but not like in a fat way. He's just husky. Blue eyes.
Can you tell me something about their personality? Like who they are? It might help.
Oh, possibly one of the most joyful people you've ever met. He's very happy-go-lucky and strangely cheap. For somebody as jolly as he is, man, he always tried to get a free ale out of me.
He succeeded with a lot of people.
I'll imagine him smiling then. And then I'll try to scry on the friend.
Interesting. Okay.
You're gonna scry right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to
For the hell
scry
of it.
Just right here in the room. All right, let's go.
just to
Boom.
see, and then because if we're gonna say, oh, I scried on them and this is what we saw, I just want to make sure, like, if someone else scries, we actually.
Jack doesn't like lying, so she's gonna try.
Yeah, and then I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, exactly. I scribed.
Right, that's why Mara's like, you're willing to tell them you had a vision?
So,
I mean, it's not a lie. She did have a vision. It's just
And
we
I
all
did,
had the same.
and I am scrying on them now. Even if it fails, I scried on them and I had a vision.
I scribed him. I had a vision.
I didn't say that the vision was from scrying.
Exactly.
As the spell begins, you find yourself struggling against your magic almost for just a moment. You understand that you can only really target something on the same plane of existence as you. And you go through a couple of different scenarios in your head as you're trying to get this magic to lock onto the target, and it just doesn't seem to be doing it. Until randomly, suddenly it does. The image appears before you as, almost kind of zooming in, you see this weird blackish colored construct. As your vision zooms in more accurately into the situation itself and who you are scrying on. You see Finnegan in this strange bed, wrapped up in various different pieces of cloth and bandage almost, but not quite. It almost seems enchanted by nature. You can see sections of glyphs and runes that have been drawn across his whole skin. Not just the bandages itself or his clothes, but across his arms, across his face, these various different mixed runes. Some of them arcane, some of them something else. As they're all covered across them, you can see that they don't seem to be dead, but they don't seem to be breathing either. They seem to be stuck in this state of stasis as you watch them. You can see just in the little sections of the corner of your vision, the room around you, that there are other beds like this in this room. And that's all you are really able to gather at this time.
Okay, I will relay that. And so did that seem to jive with everything we saw before? Or did it look like a completely different area?
The structure itself seems like the same vibe as you would have seen in the vision from Mara in Harmony's little pyramid. But it was definitely not the same room. But it was definitely the same architecture and the same style.
Runes and stuff. Okay, so that's probably when they first get there, is what we saw in the pyramids. And this is the next step in some cases.
That is a good assumption to make.
Would Jacaranda have you recognize the runes, but would you have thought to, are they like in a different order? Would you have thought to like hastily sketch them out as you were seeing this vision?
Well, I would draw them. Yeah, I would draw them out for sure. Or if I don't know if I have anything where I can.
What's that called?
Mara would hand you her book. Did they look like these? Any of these? And have you point to any of them they may look like?
Did they look like any of those?
Not exact, but similar, yes.
Similar, okay.
Same purpose, same mixture of like arcane and whatever language that Mara is currently showing you, but not the exact organization.
So then next, do we tell the queen first before everyone else gets here? Or do we spring it on her when we spring it on everyone else?
I feel like we should inform the queen before we spring it on everyone else, seeing as she's been very gracious to us and, gave us Stonehaven.
Yeah. Let her come from a place of knowledge.
Okay. Then, perhaps, you have some questions to answer now, sir.
Sorry. Why did you name me after a common word in your language? It's very confusing to hear my name constantly and not actually being read. Anyway, sorry, apologies. Hi, hello.
That was Nolly.
Well, if you
If
want
you
to give
remember-
us
Nolly
another
says
name,
goes.
remember
not
we
give us a
asked
We
name.
asked you so many. I didn't hear this. I'm not hearing this. Actually, I would have heard.
We asked you. Nolly asked what your name was, and you said perhaps, and paused, and they said, "Oh, okay. Well, your name is perhaps now."
I wasn't exactly going to say no. I wasn't in a fantastic situation surrounded by a bunch of friends, was I? No, I was afraid you were going to step on me.
well, now you're fantastical, so give us a name.
The translation is rather difficult. So, you can name me something if you wish. Just please do not let it be a common word used in your vocabulary so that I'm constantly confused about whether I'm being sarcastic or not.
It's your
It's fine.
name. This is a time to take back your own personhood and choose something that you feel represents you.
That one is going to mutter to Mara and Orin, as Jacqueline is saying this. Are we arguing about perhaps his name again? Didn't we have this conversation?
All
He
right.
doesn't want to be called
let's-
perhaps, so
let's put it
he
to a vote. All
wants
for
us to choose
perhaps.
If perhaps is perhaps not choosing. Is he?
They shoot you eyes as you gotta put your hand down.
We're gonna put it to a vote. All for perhaps.
If perhaps isn't like perhaps.
Do you have a favorite color? You could be named after your favorite color, or your favorite flower, or your favorite animal, or favorite tree, or do you have a fruit that you like?
Tell him that he can choose their favorite sound.
He can hear you. He's not deaf.
I'm sorry, I don't communicate with
He can
people
hear
who
you.
don't communicate with me.
Tell
He knocked on the
him.
door, you didn't let him in.
Correct. That one's a person of few words.
Alright, fine. If you're not going to name me, I guess.
You're not a pet. We don't name you.
Even
Shikari gave me his name.
I tell you this, I will just go
I
after.
thought he said a table.
Oh yes, I'd like a good table. Go from perhaps.
James
Perhaps
Hetfield it is.
table.
Okay.
This is our friend, perhaps table. You can call him.
Perhaps table.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
God damn it. If you if this is how it's going to go, that's fine. I will simply take the name of the individual who I am merged with. So let's say, which one's your name? Which one's your name? Which one's your name? Okay, right. Logan. There we go. My name is Logan. Are you
See, Logan's
I was
going to
say twat.
No, that's what you called him, me, for the most part.
Well, yes.
As he was.
But that's not actually my name.
Logan. Okay.
Logan. So,
There you
Logan,
go.
you have questions to answer.
Perhaps you will answer them.
That's good.
Well, first of all, do you know what these runes mean?
The ones here, the ones that you've written down.
Yes.
Or either one. And I show the drawing I did.
Okay. Those ones, and I'll point to Jacaranda. This is going to be the easiest one. This is magic, basically. That's going to be the easiest way to put it. Your magic in this realm all draws from the same well. Because the things that you know the things that create your magic, your constants, as you call them.
of
And-
the bodies in sight?
Essentially, it would be like locking them in some area encased in ice. That would probably be the best comparison I'd have. The individuals themselves would go into some kind of stasis. They would be frozen in their time. That particular spell would keep them alive through the whole thing, but it would keep them stable. It would keep them also unable to move or breathe, and not really needing to either. Almost like freezing at a moment.
And as you seem to recognize these runes very well, generally, what purpose are they used for? What are these people being saved?
Travel, interrogation, food. Could be a variety of different reasons. More than likely, one of the former two for now. For now.
Travel or food?
Travel or interrogation, being brought somewhere to gather what information you could possibly give. Although they will probably end up as food eventually, unless they are broken out of that situation.
And they don't recognize the ones that Mara showed, or
As they look over towards Mara. These ones, names mostly. Individuals who are revered in our society for one thing or another.
I would bring up one of the names that she has out of that list. Say, do these say, and those names, which I have written somewhere. Hold on. Kaladas, Ralanox, Ohobora, and
Yes,
Ruzure.
names of people that have done great things in our society one way or another. Usually destroying some kind of horrendous, terrible monster that was going to end our kind, or brought us out of a dark age into something wonderful, or one of those kind of things.
Are they all still living, as far as you know?
As far as I know, yes, we have an incredibly long lifespans.
Okay, so now next question. Why are your people taking ours?
That I can't tell you. Once your people had visited ours, we realized that, in fact, there was other life than just us and the people that we knew about. We fractured. Some of our people saw it as a birthright to take over these lands, that your people were beneath us, and some of us saw it as an opportunity to create an actual companionship, an alliance. We went to war about it, in fact. It was very bloody. Neither side really won.
How many of our years was this?
How long the battle wore on, so how long ago exactly?
How long ago?
Oh, goodness. Could I see... Never mind, this won't be valuable. And they'll look towards the little, like, table thing that you have set up in the war room. Just, I could be wrong, but probably about 30 years ago? Maybe a bit less? 30 or 40 years. It was a recent occurrence for you, at least.
How long were you in the artifact?
I was sent after the first big skirmish took place. Now that we're being open and that you've helped me stay alive, I suppose it's fair to say, I was a Don't open the rest of the cone.
Do you know how
No,
we
I
can
would-
close it?
Very much like to destroy it, please.
Destroying it would be difficult. You would need something incredibly powerful to be able to do that. An artifact that transcends past your plane, exists in others. You could possibly do this, but it would be a long, probably a very long trip for what essentially amounts to a fancy sword or something of the like. In terms of keeping it closed, it will only open when put under enough magical pressure, direct magical pressure. The only reason that I ended up escaping is because you pumped so much energy into this thing that it opened prematurely. So all you have to do is not pump any more magic into it, and it will stay closed.
I love Stormtrap.
Does
Would they be
Mara
looking
know?
for it?
Unlikely. It was meant to be a. How do I put this? Sorry, translating is still difficult. I guess a scouting force would be the best way of putting it. Sending a few of our toughest creatures in first in order to sow discord before setting up for whatever the rest of their plan was, which, as we have found out, appears to be the abduction of her people.
And I just had one more question. Does the location description sound familiar to you at all, or not really? Would you have any idea where this could be?
My people are not exactly ones for aesthetics. Everything that we make kind of looks the same. I would assume either perhaps a building of ours or perhaps one of our vessels, one or the other. That would be the only places I could imagine them storing people.
Are we talking about a spaceship?
We're talking about
As a vessel, you mean? I mean,
a vessel, a means of transportation.
Nope. Not hearing any of this.
Has Mara heard of any, in her stories of stories, read anything or heard anything about a place without magic?
Roll a history check for me.
19.
So it's not exactly that there are places without magic, it's just the creation and application of magic is different. Even though everything is kind of connected in the cosmic sense, each plane has a different access to what gives them their abilities. There is no plane that, well, there is one plane that technically does not have any magic at all, but that is a different and kind of unrelated story to now. Yeah, so
But
this story
Anywhere on this plane. She's trying to think of a place that they could hide the cone.
Okay. I mean, the bright side of the cone is the fact that it technically doesn't exist, is that magic cannot find it. So you can't scry on it, you can't do anything like that. Even something like Wish.
Identify spells.
Yeah, identify spells, nothing like that work on it because there's no target for the spell to hit. So the idea that someone could actually go ahead and track it down is very unlikely.
Right, but Mara would like to put it somewhere because we're always surrounded with magic. And if we're attacked by lots of magic, she doesn't want the cone to open accidentally. But she doesn't want to leave it here. So she would like to put it somewhere.
Your best bet would be to store it in a pocket plane.
Wait. I was gonna say like the bag of holding, but then we need to hide the bag of holding in case someone dusts it out.
Something that is a pocket plane that is low magic in and of itself. So something like a bag of holding or a handy haversack, which is a magical item, but it doesn't exude magic. It doesn't have any other magic properties other than it creates a pocket plane.
Okay.
So maybe not the bag of holding you're currently using, but if you were to pick up a haversack or a small pouch, an enchanted pouch at any time, you know plenty of enchanters.
Oh my
by
god,
this
I'm
point.
so glad I got
Great.
rid of the pouch of duplicate.
Sorry,
That would
what?
have been incredible.
I had a pouch that I could drop a shuriken into, and it just I could just always throw the shuriken, and I always had a shuriken in the pouch. Always.
I'm really glad you don't have that anymore.
cone
No,
in.
no,
Terrible.
no.
You put the cone in.
Yeah,
You pull out a
it's
cone.
like-
Corin is
Oh,
not
we
a cone
have-
person to have magical shit.
We have one cone that's very dangerous. Oh, now we have two.
This cone is essentially a WMD. We cannot let anyone have it at any time. Why do we have two?
Please. I mean, literally, as this conversation is going on, back into character real fast, I want to be like, please, somebody, one of you, please take this away from me. I don't want it. I don't want it at all.
The bag of holding.
Mara would take it.
Yes.
Both the
Uh,
bag of holding, the cone of fuck all. I don't know. I just
I was,
all of it. I
I
don't.
was like, Down's gonna take it, and she's also gonna start rummaging in it, so that all that's left in this bag of holding is the thing, is the cone.
Yeah, I was gonna say either we could go buy one.
We could get. We're going into
Specifically
town. We
for-
can. I'm pretty sure that Kata has one we can pick up.
Or if there's like a box of holding.
I almost
Box
want
of
to take
nope.
it
Is there a sealed box?
and put
of
it in
nope?
in a box of nope and give it to Queen Worminess.
You want to give it to the Worm Queen?
Why?
We could
This
bury
was
it.
gonna go mess with the Worm Queen.
What if the Worm Queen decides to mess with the Worm
I
Queen?
mean, history dictates. People have already messed with the Worm Queen.
Well, this is true, but
Yeah, didn't the magic Carnum take?
the Luna Soritas came and messed with the
Yeah, the Luna
with
Soritas.
the Worm
They're
Queen.
making
Yeah.
hybrids of those kind of creatures
Okay, fine.
with crucifix.
we still need someone. I still don't want it here, especially. But I don't want. Okay, let me say this. I don't want Oren to know where it is.
Oh, I'm perfectly fine with that. I am absolutely perfectly
Because people tend to
Mess
find
with-
out things from Oren.
I spill beans a lot.
I mean, there
I'm
is
not good at eating
something.
beans.
There's something I can do instead of something Mish.
Should we table the conversation for now until if we don't want Orin to know, or close your mind?
It won't be an issue. Don't you worry. What is your experience, Oren, with memory magics?
A what? No, what now?
Wonderful. Okay. So, my suggestion, my plan. Someone take the dragon, place it in the bag, preferably not one that you're going to be using. Keep it on you at all times, or if we find a safe place eventually, then we can go ahead and put it somewhere else. But as long as that bag is a pocket plane, then you're fine. And then I'm going to go ahead and wipe Oren's memory of the code. I understand that that is a lot of trust to place into someone who has what's in your head. I am not a fool about this, so I'm only going to do it if I have your actual legitimate consent. If you have any doubts, I won't.
But wouldn't that mess with other memories surrounding the cone as well?
Yeah, can we do it just so I don't know where you put it? I don't.
all that you would remember is that one of your allies has taken the cone and is hid it in a safe place away from you in case anything were to happen again.
I feel like we could just do it the old-fashioned
That's
way and not tell you,
Yeah,
and then
That
not
makes
mess with your
I feel like
pet.
Orin could just leave the room
Earmuffs.
and go for a walk. Maybe try and fight the ocean. I don't know.
Fight the ocean.
Fight the ocean? Why would I go fight the
just
ocean?
go away.
Why are you crossing half
Just
the
go away.
country to go?
Just like
Go
go for a
fight the
long
ocean.
walk, come
Um,
back, punch some trees, come back.
I'll tell you what. Are we? You know what? You know what? It doesn't even matter if we're finished planning or anything. I'm gonna go have a drink, and so I'm gonna off to the pub, and
Wait,
hell, I won't remember anything that's gonna happen the next few hours
didn't you
anyway.
say that there's a bunch of alcohol in the bag of holding?
There's a bunch of alcohol
Okay.
in the bag.
There
of
was,
holding
but I'm
still.
gonna leave
Yes.
it here. I'm gonna go buy.
Oh no, I
alcohol.
know. But when Orin says, I'm going to go for a drink, Dawn's gonna reach in elbow deep, pull out like 3 bottles and give them to him. Just to put on top.
Oh my god. Is there a bottle of black liquid in there?
What have you been
It
putting in
was-
this bag of holding?
Is there a
It was
bottle of
never-
silence here?
It was never taken out.
Again, I ask, what the hell is in this?
All right. So here's what
It
we're
says
gonna do.
Sally on it.
I reach in elbow deep and I pull out Sally. I say, who the fuck are you?
So Dawan reaches into the bag of holding and goes powerful and thinks of powerful liquor and pulls out a bottle that is probably that full of black liquid. And Orin will go, ho. Oh boy, the scissors, my head's gonna hurt. That'll do the trick. That's called the Siren's Tear. We picked it up before I met the rest of you. I don't even think you need to wipe my memory. I'm gonna go to my room, I'm gonna drink this, and wipe my own fucking memory. Have a good night.
Well, I think we need to look at what's in this bag of holding at some point.
Now-
I'm gonna need a Constitution save from you at some point. At some point, Orin.
That to you now. Let's do it.
So Mara would say, I'm a
no. It was a 5. What did I? Oh, but 8? No, 8 won't do it.
No. Okay,
Of
Orin
two
has
minds.
a rough day.
on where we could take
Thank God you have
the
a
cone
plan.
after we find a container for it.
Mhm.
So my 2 thoughts are we can take it to the guardian of the forest, or we're supposed to be going to the Vale at some point, I think, for Naui's big shindig transformation. We could take it there.
Isn't the veil inherently magical?
Right, but this is going to be in the pocket. Right.
So it wouldn't affect.
And you can only get to the Vale if the Vale wants you there. So we could ask the Vale to
But
hold it.
Okay, yeah, as long as nobody dumps this thing out and then it's just like in the most magical
Right. No.
place.
we can
So those are my 2
we can also
thoughts.
seal the bag of holding into something else that cannot be opened and then dumped out.
A box of note.
Absolutely.
It's literally just a bag of holding, but you magically stitch the other end
Yeah.
shut.
Never opening again. I love Orange
know,
just
yeah.
sleeping. What are we? I mean, what are we? We're just gonna tell the queen my scrying thing, and then
We'll tell the queen you're scrying.
anything else?
Oh, right. Perhaps, are you okay if we tell the queen? I mean, she knows about you already, but all this other stuff. In case she has questions, will you answer her questions?
Well, I'm not on the imminent brink of death, and I actually have the ability to think properly and answer your questions. So the answer is, at the moment, yes. Just bear in mind, I was on the other side, so there's going to be a lot of logistics I don't know about.
Right, but you're our best resource for your plane.
And that is about as reassuring as horrifying, yes.
Do we think perhaps she'd come with us to the meeting or no? Because if these other
Yes,
people
to-
find out,
Well, no, just to tell the queen.
just to tell the queen, yes. Not whatever other
We
meeting.
don't know when the meeting is set for, but today we'll go talk to the queen, tell her what we know, and yeah, and in case she has any questions about that other plane or how this all got started with someone from here invading there, he can answer those questions.
Okay.
This sounds doable.
And we'll stop by Kata's and get another container and a note box.
We'll get a note box.
It's like a metal box you can
a
weld
lead box
closed.
to put the note box in. A suitcase to put the lead box in that. Some chains to wrap the suitcase in. A crate to put the suitcase, chain wrapped suitcase with the lead box, the note box in. Yes, this will be good.
Oh, we could probably have the blacksmith here make a lead box.
2 small questions before we go ahead and wrap this and say that we have a plan. Number 1, would you like to invite your flirty friend? He has not left the fort.
Oh.
I believe Odion was his name.
You're
wasn't
right.
summoned to
I
this
was like
meeting.
floaty
I was
friend,
like-
and then he had not left the fort, and I was like, Odion. Oh, yeah.
I say, like, are
They have
we
been
a
here
ghost?
the entire time.
Do we have a ghost?
We would have been. Yes, we probably. Well, I don't know. Do you think Odion wants? I mean,
hang out, so they stayed and
the
hung
one
out.
I will let you handle.
Hey, listen, if Odion was still here,
I don't know.
100% would have assumed that we would have invited him into Strategy Family Puzzle Room. So
Yes.
so maybe he's just
Low.
in the rafters and we didn't know.
Odin is here.
It's okay. Everyone forgets that certain characters are in the scene sometimes. It's fine. Yeah, like, as of last session, Odium was chilling and helping you with the repairs the entire time. So I thought
Right,
you
but
didn't
I don't
invite,
know that
I
we
thought
were
you
gonna
didn't invite
include
them
him
on
on-
purpose. Yeah.
Right. Mara would not have invited him as far as this discussion, unless specifically Dawan said we should invite. Because the only reason Mara asked Odion to stay around was to help with making the fort accessible.
With the floaty. Let's say that Odion, like, I left to be in this meeting. Odion is with the other town cleric, like, helping to finish put stuff away.
That's cool.
And
Okay.
Because Mara doesn't want to get anyone else involved in our crap unless absolutely necessary.
Especially not this horn thing. Like, that needs to not be anyone. No one should know about that.
My second question would also be, do we want to give our friends some time to sleep it off, I believe is the phrase.
Yeah,
it's
probably.
going to be tomorrow before we see the queen.
Because
Yeah.
frankly, I could smell that from his mind. That is incredibly
We
strong
do
stuff.
need to go through this bag of holding before we.
Yeah, just make sure nothing else dangerous.
There's
Okay, so we'll
Is
go
in
see
there.
There's definitely something else dangerous in here.
We'll send a missive to the queen, and then go see her tomorrow.
Yes.
or invite her here for brunch.
And I can do some commune and just, find out some things, best way to move forward type stuff. Maybe ask about best continent to go to try to solve this. I'll just ask.
I think we're going to need a ship that flies.
Okay. I've never flown before, but sure.
Logan, I need you to stay here and don't be afraid. And she
Not afraid.
would send a message to Shikari for them to join us. And she would say, don't attack the thing you are about to see.
They'll step inside and it's just...
And she would tell Shikari, okay, I need you to get a sense of this creature. However you need to, sense, taste, sight. If any other creatures of this type are around, you need to run.
Shikari will nod.
Sounds like you all have plans then.
Just stay there for a few moments. Let Shikari do his thing.
I will bid you adieu once this wonderful creature has stopped sniffing my food.
Yes.
The rest of you, frankly. Alright.
How dare you expose Shikari's kinks?
Are you hiding something under that mask?
It's going to be far too much to explain, so I'm just not going to. I barely gained a garnish of trust now.
I know what's under the mask. I don't want to know. The cleric in me wants to know, but I don't want to know.
Me, the one, the cleric. Yes. Me, the one, the
No.
person. No.
Me, the one, the cleric, maybe when it's dead.
But what if we need to protect you and we don't have all the information we need to do that?
You can make a persuasion check. It's gonna be a real hard one, though. Last roll of the night.
Mara is very persuasive. But not that persuasive. It was a 17, which would have made it 29, but it changed to a 7, which makes it 19.
How much?
19.
19. Okay. They'll look at you with their glowing purple eyes. They'll think it over for a moment.
If it makes it easier, you can tell just one of us, just so one of us is aware of what's going on. Even if
Not
it's
right
just the
now.
cleric doctor.
I will adhere to your request, but not right now. I think that is a fair line to draw in the sand.
Okay.
Good day.
They'll nod and begin heading back upstairs before rather worriedly poking their head in the training hall just to check on Oren, and then they'll continue back up the stairs. Yeah, Oren, you had like the drunk high of your life for about 10 seconds. And then you were just
It was literally just, all right, well, I'm just gonna. Oh, boy, Kool-Aid on.
Perfection. Yeah.
Adam had a cat on me while I was laying down for a second, so I feel like maybe, which one's the fluffy one?
Pestle.
Pestle. I think maybe Pestle was like sniffing around, and I was just like, oh,
Okay, but what if it was Poultice?
and then it would have been like, get the. I swear.
And there's just this hairless
Alright.
demon cat staring at you.
and he's just petting it like it's the fluffiest thing in the fucking world. Just
I like to imagine that he tries to cover Orin. You know how cats cover poo because it smells. Like if my cat like smells a fart, they'll try to cover.
oh no.
Stop pulling up the bed sheets to try and wrap up Orin.
There's no
Oh,
bed
my
sheets. Orin
lord.
sleeps on straw.
Even
So you
better.
just
That's
have
even
pieces of
better.
straw.
That's right. That's worse.
Like that smells.
Yeah.
Like,
That one's
Oh.
gonna end the scene just like at the puzzle table, at the puzzle game table, pulling everything that isn't the flask out of the bag of holding.
So we're gonna catalog everything that's in the bag of holding.
After
Yes, that is what we're
after
doing.
we
is in
found
there.
out that there's a fucking
What goo? A thing of
Funky
goo?
and-
We have no
Yeah,
idea.
Yeah,
what it
there's,
is.
there's a lot
Sirens
in there,
tier.
y'all. There's a
That was
lot in
from-
there. Y'all have not done inventory management in like 50 episodes.
Cole had the inventory of the bag of holding. That one, with her Mary Poppins bag, is now like, this is my turn.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Alright. And with that, the plan being made, perhaps heading back upstairs, the plan for y'all to go ahead and meet the Queen, and Orin being thoroughly out of it. We can go ahead and move the session there as we approach next time with heading back to Scythia after a month away and seeing if anything has changed.
Well, it hasn't been a month away. There's been a lot of shopping.
I mean, yes, but you had people for that. Like, you had...
Well, this is true, but there's been a lot of visiting Kata and Mara keeping busy. She hasn't seen the Queen because she's just been busy.
That's fair. All right. Sweet. Oh, it's so good to be back, y'all. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see where this is going. Let's go ahead and give people a chance to plug what they want to plug real quick. Starting with Adam.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm Adam. You can catch me at AdamHardyBO on Twitter and Instagram. I do the posts production for Mind the Motor, so please check out our YouTube channel, which I believe is in flux currently, right?
Yes, we are currently uploading the backlog of all of the Mind of the Martyr episodes, as well as other Friends Who Roll Dice content on the Friends Who Roll Dice YouTube. It's going to take us a bit, just because there is a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on there, but yeah, we're slowly but surely uploading that backlog. So yeah, keep an eye.
So yes, check that out. Please. I throw music, sound effects into our little
Oh,
post production.
good.
It's
So
a lot of
good.
fun. It's a lot of fun to do. So please check it out. Go back to the early episodes. You can find out what the Sirens tier is.
Hopefully you didn't punch a siren and get her tear.
No, it's literally just like the biggest, baddest Mama Jamma drink in the whole nucleus sub.
It is
It's
dangerous.
Black
That's what it is.
It is the ping pong tiddly in the nucleus sub.
Rochelle.
Hi, I'm Rochelle. I'm Dragon Gem here on Twitch, the Dragon Gem on Twitter. I stream on my own channel on Sundays and Wednesday nights at 6 Mountain. I play a lot of puzzle games, tons and tons and tons of puzzle games. So you should come by and hang out and watch me struggle with puzzles.
Melissa.
I am Melissa, or So Much Geek on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. I do stream on my Twitch account sometimes. I've been working on some more fun redeems and stuff for chat, so we'll see how that goes. And I also have a store too on my page. Twitter is the best place to find out anything that's going on. And hopefully I'll be playing in a Tales from the Loop game soon, and I will announce that on Twitter. So yeah.
That will be super high. That's gonna be cool. Can't wait to see that. And Jessie.
Hi, I'm Jessie, Jahoos the Moose on the interwebs. I do art stuff. You can check out art stuff on the Instagram. I almost said interwebs again, which is true, technically. I'm working on some portraits right now. They're going to be done real soon. So I'm kind of in this, like, woo! Not crunch time, but self-imposed crunch time. Yeah.
They're getting close time.
Yeah, like, it's line time, which is, as soon as I'm done with lines, oh gosh, I'm just free sailing from there, but the lines.
Fantastic. As always, support these wonderful people and everything they do. As for me, I am Ray. You can find me at RedMageRay on Twitter. That is pretty much where you're going to find me. I don't use any of these Instagrams and the Toctics and all of that. No, not me. Just Twitter. That'll do. You can also.
You're literally like one of the youngest. You're like the youngest out of all of us.
No one needs to know this. You can also find me here on Friends Who Roll Dice, one of the groups that I co-founded with a bunch of fantastic people. We have a whole bunch of stuff coming on the channel, actually. Obviously, we have the Mind of the Martyr, which is sticking with the slot here. This Wednesday, we have our second and final game of Queers, which is a Super Sentai TTRPG currently in Kickstarter. We have a fantastic cast currently going through that, with the wonderful Super Dylan GMing. It's the first episode was fantastic. You should go and check it out on VOD. Check out the second one and back the project. Not only is it an amazing TTRPG and people have been having so much fun with it all over, a portion of their donations all go to various different LGBTQ plus charities. So yeah, go ahead and check them out. It's Queers, so queer with a Z, an exclamation mark. It's wonderful. There's a whole bunch of people you've probably seen in the TTRPG sphere working on it as contributing writers and things as well. So do it. It's going to be great. We also have, I actually need to bring up my notes for this one because I don't remember that's the one. So, the other thing that we are debuting within the next week is actually on Nomedic's channel. We are teaming up with Nomedic to bring you a 6-part Hyper Light Drifter TTRPG special with an incredible cast. 3 episodes will be on Gnome's channel, and 3 episodes will be here on Friends Who Roll Dice. Both that and the Queers game will be at 7 p.m. ET. Queers will be Wednesday here. Hyperlight Drifter will be Friday on Gnome's channel. That's Nomadic if you need to find it. We have a bunch of other stuff that we're sitting on, but we're kind of waiting on most. The only other thing that we can kind of announce at the moment is our Invisible Sun campaign, which will be arriving soon. It'll be arriving mid to late October, that we are super, super hype about. We're very excited. Everything else, we're kind of stuck. We're not kind of can't talk about it yet, but still. A big thank you to those who are supporting the channel. Big thank you to those who supported our Bimpop Vamp Jam games. Those were super cool, and getting to see so many new faces as well as some old friends on that was pretty damn incredible. And we raised a whole bunch of money for charity as well, so that's always the best part. Yeah, that's us, Friends from Roll Dice. I sometimes stream on my own channel, Red Mage Ray, if you're interested in me and my silly antics. We're currently playing through Final Fantasy XII on Fridays, so you should definitely come and check that out, because that's going to be fun. And yeah, that is about it. Thank you so much, folks, for watching. We're going to roll a quick credit reel and then send the love that you've sent us elsewhere. Thank you so much. Keep well, keep hydrated, keep medicated, and keep moving forward. And we will see all of you, hopefully, next time.